Craig. Now, International Relations Minister Naledi Pandor has taken umbrage to a Sunday Independent news report. An article claims she was involved in a plot to help fugitives, Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary, and another man escaped to Malawi. Now, the Sunday paper quotes unnamed sources and reports that police, military and diplomatic officers tried to detain the trio who were in disguise at the Waterkloof military base. But apparently Pandor allegedly sent officials to intervene, allowing for the Bushiris and their accomplice to flee the country. The government has since stated that it is committed to getting the Bushiris back to South Africa to face justice and has warned the public to treat news coverage on their escape with caution. Let's unpack the story now. We're joined by government spokesperson and Director General of the Government Communication and Information Systems, that's GCIS, Phumla Williams. Phumla, good morning once again. Thanks very much for your time this morning. On the AM report, there's a lot of toing and froing. The last we heard from GCIS, GCIS confirming that that the Bushiris did not leave South Africa aboard a flight with President Lazarus Chakwera and his delegation. That's the Malawian president. New information now, new allegations now emerging over the weekend. What is your response to, let's begin with the first allegation, that there were these three people, these two men and a woman that were on board this flight that were not on the pre-approved passenger list for Malawian President Lazarus Chakwera. Did that happen to your knowledge?
Michelle, good morning and good morning to the viewers. I think we owe South Africans better. I will not come here and share with South Africans fake news. The story that was covered by Sunday Independent is unfortunately, from where I'm seated, fake news. Because you cannot go and do headlines on unsubstantiated evidence and hide behind the fact that you've got sources. You tarnish our Minister of International Relations, and rightly so. She is upset, and as a country, we should also frown on such behavior from media. This is a country that has got rules and laws that govern us, and the Sunday Independent, the least they could have done is to contact the minister and communicate. We are on record in saying that no unauthorized person left that Waterkloof on that Friday. And we went on to explain that the reason there was a delay was because the Malawian delegation thought that they will take the advance team that had come earlier using the OR Tambo, and they wanted to use one route. And with the explanation that they were given, yes, they were unhappy with that procedure, but they ended up complying, because what we then said, you can leave the Waterkloof and go and pick them up there. And the immigration has assured us that the delegation that departed and the OR Tambo is the same delegation that had entered through the OR Tambo. And I think we want to say to South Africans, we are still committed to investigate how the Bushiris left. We know there are families that are aggrieved because they lost some of their savings through this church. We remain committed to making sure that we bring the Bushiris back into South Africa to come and face the justice system in our country. And also we will make sure that we update South Africans as we go along. As you will appreciate, Michelle, it is a little bit difficult for the justice system who are doing the investigation to do blow-by-blow detail. Safe to just say what the Sunday Independent published is not correct.
Phumla, as we're speaking to you now, there's, as you say, people want answers. It's been a couple of weeks now since the Bushiris were able to flee our country. It doesn't give us a lot of confidence about the security of our borders. They were let out on bail just a couple of days before that, and before long they had skipped the country. What do you say to South Africans who are questioning why we still haven't gotten to the bottom of this?
Well, what I can assure South Africans is that, yes, they were granted bail. Yes, they were given conditions of reporting. And unfortunately, they violated the laws of this country in as far as the bail conditions. But what we can assure South Africans is that we are going to do whatever it takes to bring them back to South Africa to face the justice system. It is unfortunate that they opted to do another illegal activity by leaving the country illegally, because from where we are, they had surrendered their passport as they were asked by the court. But unfortunately, they used other documentation or offense, we don't know. And I think it is only fair that we communicate with South Africans when we know what really happened. I think it will not assist anybody if we are going to be speculating again. We've been assured that the police, the justice system is working as fast as they can to make sure that they update South Africans of what really happened.
Phumla, just in terms of getting them back, getting the Bushiris back to the country to face justice here in South Africa, that's not up to the South African government, isn't? It's up to whether Malawian laws allow for that to happen. So we're at the behest of the Malawian government insofar as the Bushiris being extradited back to South Africa.
We have an extradition treaty that we have signed both. We have a good working relationship with the government of Malawi, and we believe that they will also respond to our request. You are right that they have also their own laws, and we believe that with all the procedures and the paperwork that we are doing, we will make it a point that we engage with the Malawian. And at this point, we're not at the point where they will say no. We believe that they will respond accordingly with the documentation which we will be submitting to them.
So you're saying the documentation that you will be submitting, so that documentation still has not been submitted?
Well, I don't have the exact date, but it was at an advanced stage last week. Okay. So I don't know whether it has already reached, but I know that the paperwork had already started. And remember, one of the conditions was that they needed to get the warrants of arrest and then prepare the documentation, and then the some other legal processes, which I think the justice can actually give the whole detail around it. But I know that the process was at an advanced stage.
Mm-hmm. So in terms of the International Relations Minister now saying that, because the allegations in this article by the Sunday Independent are so serious against Naledi Pandor that she actually intervened in getting that plane to leave Waterkloof Air Force Base, despite the fact, according to the Sunday Independent, that there were these 3 unknown people that had hitched a ride on the plane. The minister now saying that she will be, first of all, she's asking for a retraction, demanding a retraction by the Sunday Independent. She also says she will pursue legal action.
Rightly so, Michelle, because you can't make such allegations on a person and don't even afford the minister the opportunity to respond and say, here is the evidence, Minister Dr. Pandor, and what is it that you have to say on it? Because they were being specific. Clearly, they have the evidence that that made them to write without even contacting the affected party. I think the minister is correct that he has to take them on. They have to retract if they don't have the evidence. If they have the evidence, they should have actually afforded the Dr. Pandor the opportunity to respond.
And of course, the question comes in, if they refuse to do so and are quite hell-bent on the evidence that they do have, confident in the evidence that they do have to support these incredible allegations against our government and the Malawian government as well.
I guess Minister Pandor knows what to do. Once they refuse and with no basis, I think that Dr. Pandor will know what to do.
Phumla Williams, let me thank you for now. Thanks very much for coming on to the AM Report. Phumla Williams is DG in Government's Communications Department, that's GCIS, as we get you the latest there on just how Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary and another unknown man escaped the country. Serious allegations in the Sunday Independent that they did indeed hitch a ride on the plane of its president, Lazarus Chakwera.